Yo, we are live. How's going? God bless everyone this thirsty Thursday. I've got a delicious Smithy beer. Smithies. Fucking good. That you got to rehydrate. I work bloody hard every day, mate. Anyway, we've got our mate Tim Wilms coming on tonight. He's an absolute fucking legend. How you going, Tim?
I'm good, thanks, Dusty. I've got the vodka cruiser here, the double lemon live. So
I love a good old vodka cruiser. Nothing gay about smashing back a fucking vodka cruiser, I'll tell you that, mate.
well, remember they brought in, what was that, about 15 years ago, the Alco-Pops tax because particularly teenage girls were drinking vodka cruisers, even though like you have to be over 18 to drink, but that was like to cut down on teenage binge drinking. That was to stop a social scourge. The solution is always more tax, more regulation, make something borderline illegal, whether it's alcohol, cigarettes, or social media, or what you post on social media.
Oh, they're taking away all the fun in this world. I don't know what their fucking problems are.
Oh yes, fun larrikinism. That's not allowed.
Yeah, we grew up and it was the binge culture era. Like we were the last generation of the binge culture era, and I am a result of this. I fucking used to get binge drink hard.
Well, I can't drink as much as I do these days. I used to in my uni days. I used to be able to get through a whole bottle of vodka in one night almost, and I'd have a hangover the next day. But you get over it. But if I get completely smashed at the age I'm at now, it takes me a couple of days to recover.
We're going this weekend. We've got the arm wrestling competition happening, over the top arm wrestling, and it's on a Sunday because we're doing it with a few different other crews, and it was the best we could get. But Saturday night we're going into the new casino, Brisbane City. We've got like a 4-hour drink package, unlimited drink. So I'm gonna be like, I'll be fucking arms on Sunday. I'll be definitely a bit dusty, I reckon. This Sunday, be fucked.
That's always made me curious. How come drinks packages they're by the hour, not by how much you drink?
They know. I reckon they can control it. They know that how many people they can just, lining up, serving out the beers.
And do they really think that everyone has an equal limit?
No way. I reckon I'll have 6 drinks. That'll be in 4 hours. That'll be me. That's it. Any more than that, I'll be fucked. I can't drink anymore. I'm turning 37. My fucking life's changed. You know what I mean?
I'm turning November 19th, 35. So,
fuck, Tim. You're growing up. You're turning into a man. Do you reckon you feel like a man now, like mid-30s? Are you like, fuck, I'm officially a man now, or what? Or when did you feel
well, you're legally a man when you're 18, so...
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was a man when I was 13. I was like, smoking and drinking with the best of them.
At 13?
Oh, fuck yeah. I thought I was an absolute fucking animal. And everyone was
why they had to the Alco-Pops tax.
That's why they introduced the Alco-Pops tax. Oi, Tim, they're saying that, it looks like Tim's got a ball sack under him. So if you look under Tim where it says never retreat, that's Tim's. It's actually a, what is it? It's like an emu.
Emu, yeah. It's the coat of arms.
It's an emu, but it also looks like Tim's hairy ball sack. But just so everyone knows, do you shave your balls, Tim, or what? Little manscaping?
No comment.
No comment. He keeps them trim. He's not an animal, people.
Well, obviously, I keep my facial hair under control, because if I grew it like you did, I get a lot of grays, and
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm like fucking. It's all white, and I used to dye my chin. Like I used to have one patch of grey there, right? And I'd just dye that one patch, and then maybe a year and a half ago, it just went fucking all white. And I gave up on dyeing it. I was like, nah, it's time to fucking grow up and embrace the greys. You know what I mean? And fuck it, I went with it.
Well, there was in the Melbourne Patriots scene, Bluebeard, who, of course, as the the name suggests, dyed his beard blue.
Bluebeard, he was like notorious. He had a bit of the left feared that Bluebeard fella.
Oh,
Eh?
well, Tom Tanuki, rather than stand up for his, well, now ex-girlfriend, when Bluebeard hit her, he ran into a bottle shop and waited till the police arrived.
Yeah, and I've seen that Tom Tanuki guy in Brisbane.
Oh yeah, I think he lives there now. Yeah, biggest shit talker online. But he was never the same in real life activism after Bluebeard.
Because
Sure.
I don't think he has engaged in local right wing activists. Like he's obviously puts up this front of being some kind of lefty activist, but
Oh yeah, yelling
there's
at
no engagement with us, or there's no
yelling at
attempt.
racist dogs was his posse. And what is it? He also had some. It turned it into some fringe comedy festival show. Again, just showing how shit and unadventurous comedy is these days.
Yeah, right. I seen him 2 times. One time I seen him, I was with these like street preachers, and I seen him there on an electric scooter, and he was standing there listening to the street preachers, and he was like, it was a demonic manifestation happening in his life. He didn't recognize me, because usually I have my blue hat, but without the blue hat, people just don't recognize me, which is kind of cool. So I was like, "Hey, mate, how you going? Do you like what they've got to say?" And this dude was like, "Nah, mate," frothing like it was. I was just like, "All right, buddy, have a good one." And I knew who he was. The second time I seen him was out front of the Albanese Labor dinner that I went to.
Oh, is he there?
Yeah, he was out the front.
Is he still a fat cunt?
Yeah. He looked like I was just like, mate, I fucking walked straight out, because I was like, I already made a spectacular entry into that dinner and had a great time. So I was like, I'm just walking. And I know it's like, it'd be easy to stir the pot with that type of people, but I was like, no fucking way. Is happening with the P boys, the Proud Boys, still going across Australia? You can go, I think, proudboysau.club. You can go to that website if you would like to try to become a member. But they're still going. Beers every month.
We're hoping that Donald Trump, when he's president again, can pardon Enrique Tarrio, the chair of the Proud Boys, who's he wasn't at January 6th. He's in for some bullshit conspiracy. Like he was convicted of a charge that they haven't used since the Civil War. Wasn't he originally charged and banned from DC for what is that? Burning a Black Lives Matter flag outside a church.
That's what happened. He was like he had some order that he couldn't go to Washington D.C. But yeah, it's like it's absolute bullshit. Like with the Proud Boys, you think like how could you do an insurrection when it's like what did they have on them? Walkie talkies, a bottle of water, an American flag, and a walkie talkie, and they tried to fucking overthrow the government with bottles of water and walkie talkies. You know, like that is just the end of the argument. Like,
well, it was worse than 9/11, the Pearl Harbor, and the Civil War combined. Did you hear Kamala's whoppers at the debate, where she still claims that police officers were killed on January 6th, which is just that wasn't fact checked by the moderators.
yeah. I mean, it's interesting that the Proud Boys got a mention again on that debate, and I think like no one really cares. You know what I mean? Because when Joe that stand by, stand back thing, that went fucking full on. That went mental. And now it's just like, they've mentioned them again, but like no one even care. Like I don't think even Gavin McInnes even said anything about it. Like on the show, they're just like, yeah.
The Proud Boys got mentioned in the first week of Deeming versus Prosciutto in the federal court here in Melbourne. Maura Deeming suing state Liberal leader John Prosciutto for defaming her.
They mentioned the Proud Boys in a court case.
Because apparently Kelly J. Keane, when she was doing a Let Women Speak event in the United States, there was a Proud Boy who spoke, and so it's basically a Prosciutto's lawyer cross-examining Maura Deeming. He's used that as a number of examples of how it was fair for Prosciutto to use against Kelly J. Keane, Posey Parker's extremist links. She's coming back to Australia, CPAC in Brisbane.
Yeah, she's coming back.
I wonder if the new Home Affairs Minister, Tony Burke, will allow her back.
Yeah. And if like, is she the biggest draw to CPAC? So I went to some CPAC. It was called, I don't know, Shark Bite Leaders, Young Leaders.
Oh yeah, it's a Shark Tank like ideas thing.
Yeah. There's like some CPAC free ticket to the next American CPAC, and young men and women can apply for the CPAC Shark Bite fucking whatever.
I saw that Dunder Viking Lachlan Lade is competing.
Yeah, Dunder Viking. Me and Dunder Viking went to that CPAC rooftop dinner thing. So it was pretty good. Where are we? I'll see if I can pull it up. Can you see? Here we go. Add to screen. Yeah. Where is it? There he is. There it is. Shark Bite contestants. There's Dunder Vibe. If you go to my Twitter, there's CPAC Australia.
He's had 2 write-ups in the Courier Mail about his shirtless videos.
Mad. He's an absolute bloody legend, Dunder Viking. I've hung out with him a fair bit. We went to dinner on Tuesday night at Sunnybank and had a succulent Chinese meal. So the guy's like, you know, he's sort of like he's like a bit like speaks a little bit Shakespeare, kind of like full enthusiastically, but he's like genuine. He is genuinely like that. Like he's actually you might think, oh, he's putting on this persona, but like he genuinely is like that. That's the way he is.
Most activists and commentators that you meet in real life, they speak exactly the same as they do on screen. Like a lot of people, like when Daisy Cousins burst onto the scene, they thought, "Oh, she must be putting that accent on." That's how she speaks when she's just in conversation with anybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a real trip out. Like, so Daisy Cousins is in Brisbane too. So
Oh,
it's sort
that's
of
where
like,
she's with her husband, Callum Thwaites.
did they like move up to Brisbane? Is that the story or what?
That's where he's from.
Okay, sweet. In other news, because like so Dunder Viking is running for number 2 on the Libertarian ticket, and in other news, the Libertarian Party's picked up, I think it's like 15 city council seats in the New
But they're
South
still
Wales council.
but it's
Still,
looking pretty good. The Ruddock Revolution, I called it.
John Ruddock, the guy he's a genuine dude too, because I met him
Yeah, I've
at
had
a
him a
Liberty.
couple of times on my Wilms Front shows.
Yeah, he will. Like, I reckon if a politician is like, yeah, mate. Like, I just went up to John Ruddock. I was like, was at a libertarian. It was kind of like casual drinks in Brisbane, and I was like, mate, want to do a freaking interview right now? And he's like, yeah, why not? Bang, straight up, did the interview, and I feel like he was fairly honest. I was trying to hit him up to sort of, you could go onto my censored TV. You could go back maybe 6 months and it's on there. And I was hitting him up about libertarians' position on mass immigration. I was like, what's the position on immigration? He had he said the way that if, if they ever became a majority government, whatever, he said it would be like for someone to migrate to Australia, they would have to have a business sponsoring them, and it would have to be like, we need this person here for this specific job, and we don't have a local talent. So essentially, everyone would have to be like sponsored by a business to be here, and it would be like temporarily fulfilling a job while a local would be getting trained for the job. So I was like, it was 100% economic benefit to Australia was the justification for any immigration. So I was like, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in right now if that was the case, because we're just bringing in, 1 million people a year to be Uber drivers at the moment, and it's destroying the economy, destroying the
Or
housing market.
or aged care, child care.
Everything.
There's a comment by Maddie S. Can you put that up
Matty
on
S. Here we go. Yeah. Candace Owen. Is she going to get a visa, or has it been decided that she won't?
Well, Tony Burke said that I hope she has a good refunds policy, so he's going to, looks like, block it. That's why I'm suspicious that he might try to block Kelly J. Keane, Posey Parker coming back.
Because they screwed over Joel Jamal when he tried to bring over Trump Jr. with Turning Point, and then that went to shit because they didn't give him his visa, and then somehow the like with things like this, I think it happened before with Milo. It's kind of like
The tour got delayed twice, once after that initial visa delay, and then delayed again for an unknown reason, and then it was cancelled. A number of people had trouble getting refunds for it.
Yeah,
So
because Joel's a top bloke. So I mean, tomorrow my censored TV episode will drop, and I interviewed Joel Jamal at the CPAC rooftop drinks, and I think Joel's a good enough young bloke, and I would hate for some people have said to me, oh no, he blah 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 tried to rubbish him to me about the whole Turning Point, the Donald Trump Jr. situation. And I'm thinking, mate, he got screwed. He's the victim. Like, if anyone else didn't get a refund, they're a victim. Joel's a victim. There's not like, I don't believe Joel pocketed thousands of dollars and, like, you know what I mean? He got screwed. Everyone got screwed by the government who hates freedom of speech.
Yeah, what is it? Both Milo and Gavin got banned from Australia. That was when David Coleman from the Liberal Party was the immigration minister. He's the shadow communications minister, and he's sort of like, oh yeah, social media is really bad. We need to regulate. Maybe this disinformation bill is not too crash hot, but if ScoMo had been re-elected, he would have introduced the disinformation bill and the lot as well. I mean, they were pretty crap on free speech, the Morrison government.
Yeah.
Particularly
they all are.
The Home
I think
Affairs,
the libertarian, like, obviously, at least we have libertarians. John Ruddock is the most sensible free speech advocate, being a libertarian. I know Milo and Gavin are doing a comedy roast tour or
roast of
show.
as spelled Kamala, Cumala. Because obviously that's how she got her big break in politics.
She must be really good at doing what she does.
On performing on Willie Brown's Willie.
Yeah, that's her. She's a freaking animal. Look at Gavin and Milo. Milo's making a bit of a comeback. I think this is going to be the beginning of his, because everyone sort of, Milo's announced that he's coming back to censored TV, and then we've all been waiting.
A lot of his Nero X posts, a lot of it is having a go at people who he believes have wronged him, like Laura Loomer and Nick Fuentes. You saw the thing, Milo, he's having that baby challenge with Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
What do you think about Nick? Because
Nick Fuentes, I reckon Nick is entertaining. Like, I watch Nick.
What do you do? Like, a lot of people believe that, well, he's gay, but there's no evidence that he's ever acted on it, like Milo used to.
I don't know. He seems like I can't understand a young man who's not out there chasing.
He really hates women all around, like not just in terms of, like, he doesn't think they should vote, but he just doesn't. He's dreading having to marry and reproduce with one.
It's pretty out there. Like, I don't know. I can't comprehend. I find like there's this, I don't know, the young generation. Like, we were talking about the binge drinking culture. Like, we might have been the last of the binge drinking culture generation, and we were probably the generation we weren't saturated in pornography. Like, it was difficult to get pornography when we were younger. It wasn't, you get a Zoo magazine or Chicks in Bikini, men's magazines, whatever. It was sort of like that. That was it for us. And I don't know. It kept that we weren't like overly saturated with it. So we would want the real thing. We were chasing after the chicks and we were binge drinking, and it made us more. We were like, I don't know. I can't understand that new young generation. They're not.
Yeah, that was before OnlyFans.
Yeah. I hope Nick. I reckon Nick will grow up, meet a missus, and he'll just be like, I was a fucking idiot. I think one day he's just gonna say, I was wrong about some things, whatever. But I don't really. It's like you got to eat the meat and spit out the bones with everyone. Like, Nick says a heap of mad stuff, and whatever. If you're chewing down, eating, listening to one of his podcasts, and he says something retarded, like just spit them bones out, move on. Who cares? Like, that's the way it is. We're all going to say some retarded shit. That's okay. But there's 90% of what he's saying is probably correct.
We know his true love is burgers.
He loves a good burger. Yeah. I mean, do you ever listen to Owen Benjamin? I feel like maybe Owen Benjamin.
I don't.
I think he's someone like Nick. Like, people will be like, nah. You might be a bit like iffy on Nick or Owen Benjamin, but then I heard bad things about Owen Benjamin, and then he started working for Sensor TV, so I started listening to him, and honestly, his show's fucking great. His show is awesome, and you get addicted to listening to his show and his like antics and his way. So, these guys are characters.
So he's part of Censored TV.
Part of Censored TV. Apparently, this freaking. We'll see if this is going to let me actually enter Censored TV, because apparently that comedy show. Oh, it's blocking me. Yeah, apparently that comedy show is supposed to have happened today, because that was going to get. They were thinking that was going to get blocked as well, but it obviously didn't.
Whose comedy show?
Oh, the roast, the Camilla roast.
No matter how many polls that are pumped out that purport to have her ahead, the poll average, the 538, Nate Silver average, like Trump is still heaps in front.
Yeah, I was watching I seen a post today. I should have shared it. It was talking about the fucking
put up Nathan Swindon's post.
Nathan Swindon.
He's a watcher of my show as well. He's very active on X, giving it to what he calls our traitor leaders.
I don't know who I'm looking up here. Should I go to your? Should I go?
No, I'm saying that he's in the Rumble chat.
Oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah,
and we just looked up Nathan his freaking X. I don't even know who he is. Is he an Australian young lad?
Yeah, he is. I asked you to put up his comments. Not you didn't need to look up his X account.
I'm a retard. That's all good. That's
like I'm
all
already wasted, and yet
see the top TikToker that interviewed Tom Sewell.
It just dropped on the Herald Sun before we came on air that a restaurant in McKinnon in Melbourne is getting cancelled for holding a meeting which Thomas Sewell, Joel Davis, Blair Cottrell, Damian Richardson attended.
Yeah. So where can them guys meet? Because apparently they tried to do a weightlifting competition in Brisbane, and it didn't. It got the cops rocked up and tried to shut it down.
Your police state. There might be at CPAC. There might be some Stasi informants. Because did you see what Giggles Miles just passed, the Respect at Work Act and other matters amendment, which it's 3 years in prison if you offend or insult, intimidate on all of the protected attributes. So,
no shit.
Yeah. It's pretty terrible. And even though,
but the thing is, all I see going to protests is like radical Marxists trying to actively intimidate people going to hear Albanese do a speech, or
Yeah.
You know what I
There
mean? We went to a
was
Let Women Speech rally the other day in Brisbane, and the trannies were like out in force.
which rally
Full
was?
intimidation of these women trying to
Oh,
speak,
yeah.
you know. So, like, the only people intimidating anyone in Brisbane City actually physically would be Marxist nutcases. It's a fact.
But that's not what these laws are designed for. Because you have Dave Pello dragged before for offending that Aboriginal who was at his conference for doing a Christian welcome to country. Did you see that that welcome to country at the AFL Sydney semi-final? He grandstanded and said, "Oh, this is not. We didn't invent it for white people. We've done it for 250,000 years or whatever he was saying."
Yeah.
Yeah,
250,000 years. Like,
something like that.
weren't we bloody cavemen then? Like, we were crawling out of the Garden of Eden back 250,000 years ago. You know?
Yeah, so the crowd was quite bemused, like their reaction, but they all should have booed him, like Sam Newton, boo the welcome to country at the grand final.
This is the guy here. This is Arvy's fucking. I just googled it. This is probably one of the most coherent news sources I could find. Woke joke.
Notice it.
Bizarre welcome to country divides Aussies. A welcome to country speak delivered before the AFL semi-final has sparked outrage across the nation. Old Uncle Elroy.
Oh, there's our mate Alex James.
Alex James.
There.
He goes all right, that Alex James fella.
Yeah. I'm gonna have him on pretty soon. I had John Goddard on, one of his mates.
Did he like emerge from maybe TikTok first, and then I've just noticed him like emerge on X? But he's gone. He's got a work ethic. Like I do not have a work ethic. Like, I don't think I've really posted on Twitter. Maybe twice a week, 3 times a week. I'm doing
I'm not as active as I used to be, because well, you would understand life gets in the way.
You just gotta fucking live your life. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta the people who are at this consistently. I fear that people get a bit too addicted to social media. Personally, like, I've been there. Like, when I had TikTok, and I've had some good runs where I get some consistent, like, a lot of views on videos, and you're like, I'll be frothing at the mouth, and I'll be like, oh my gosh. And you get that dopamine high.
On
you know what I mean?
I'll just let you know on Rumble directly, we've got a super chat from fellow comrade.
Oh, fuck you. Just here to say that Stephen Miles is gay and his wife probably avoids him at night. Thanks, fellow comrade. You legend for $5.
Well, we do know that Stephen Miles is, well, at least done it 3 times with his wife. He's got 3 children, doesn't he?
Man, there's something wrong with that guy. I don't trust his dodgy
Did you see that his a video where he had his defenders of women, even though his government doesn't know what a woman is.
They don't know what a woman is, Tim. They had to send like 40 cops down to the Let Women Speak rally. I think it was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, they had to send like 40 cops down to protect the women. And the cops were like, let's be honest, the cops were like probably doing a good job in the sense that they actually defended the women's right to speak. But they had it so controlled that you know, personally, I was like, yo, I tried to get into this protest. They're like, sorry, mate, the area is closed down. They send me away. Luckily, I walked around to go to interfere with the tranny counter protest. And then, like, I don't know if it's the sergeant, but he's one of the main cops I always see in the city. I was like, hey, mate, they wouldn't let me in. So I'm going around here to film the trannies. And I was like, I'd really prefer not to. Like, I can just, if you could help me get in, then I could just leave the lefty Marxists alone and I can go and interview the sensible people who I'd like to interview. And he's like, just wait here, mate, and I'll see if I can get you in. And this, I don't know, I call him, I'm like, thanks, Sergeant. He helped me out and he got me into the protest I wanted to. So I was like, he did me a solid. So I think, like, honestly, the cops in Brisbane are pretty reasonable and they actually are trying to do a good job.
Except where Thomas Sowell and the National Socialist Network turned up, where
yeah, I find that to be like, see, I've never had I've never had any problem with Queensland police in like 5-6 years of doing protests. I'm trying to find this. Here we go. This is what I went to. What are they called? Did I put a link? Okay, Woman Up Speak. That's the protest I went to. Woman Up Speak. So it was reasonable women saying their piece, and like what you can see right here, it's like I don't know.
Should separate because they're actually not.
I just pause it. I'm just sort of giving you a little look so you can kind of see what the vibe was like. Maybe 40 people at the protest, pretty chill, just doing some speeches, listening to speeches. And it required about 40 police officers to facilitate these women to be able to do a few speeches. The cops did a good job. They kept them safe. They kept the radical Marxist trannies away. So they did a good job. Well done to the police. And they facilitated me. They let me go in there and interview these people. So they did a good job. And then, like you were saying, Tom Sewell, I always fuck up his name. I don't know how to say it. The National Socialist Network, they were turned away and harassed by Queensland police.
Yeah, which was, well, it wasn't unprecedented because they were sort of treated the same way as they were in Sydney on Australia Day. But the fact that there was that police officer is like, you're not welcome here, you're offensive.
You're offensive. So I wonder, like, I've never spoken to Tom or his crew. And, like, I wonder if I was there, like any other protest, if I was, like, around or I was there and I was able to film what the hell was actually going on from, like, a third person perspective. So we saw like the footage that we got to see, but we didn't get to see the whole picture. You know what I mean? Like, I reckon like a lot of people are interested in what the hell's happening around that scenario, around the police, around what they were trying to achieve. So if I ever get the opportunity, I would like to go along and try film that shit if that was ever, you know. And I wonder what the police reaction would be to me, because they know I go to every protest. I just treat it like any other event. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, well, yeah, they don't advertise National Socialist Network where they're going to be. So
just cops knew, but that's the thing. The cops are like onto it.
Well, obviously they've got their intel info.
And that would mean like, that means that on Telegram, the cops have access to the chats, or probably to every chat.
They've got somebody on there, the inside.
Yeah. Possibly. Do you think every chat on Telegram you might as well consider it to be a public chat? Like, is it foolish to believe that?
You shouldn't say stuff in what you think is vetted chat that you wouldn't say in a public chat. Like, always post like somebody is going to see it and possibly screenshot it. It's like the golden rule with politicians. Speak into every microphone as if it were a live microphone. So
yeah, that's right. They got to be like, isn't it? I guess it shows that freedom of speech is truly under attack. Where like I'm a concreter. I work concreting, and we talk absolute shit all day long. Like, not one building has been built in this country and this state without racist, sexism, homophobic, fucking, like it would come across as bullying and harassing and nastiness and
rough talk, locker
just
room
fucking
talk.
rough, like rough talking absolute shit all day. And it's a very multi-ethnic fucking like industry, concreting, because like no one wants to do it, so they throw anyone around the world in the meat grinder of it all. And you just gotta fucking, this is the reality of life. So for me it's like real offensive. Like, I don't care. Like, I think that even from working with people from other races, they're all racist as fuck. They all are racist. They all want to self-segregate. They all want to look after their own. They don't give a fuck. They're here to take advantage. They openly say it. Like, this is the way it is. Like, don't tell any of us, not to voice our opinion. Everyone's voicing their opinion. Everyone's talking absolute shit on the job site every day, and you'll never get another building built in this country if you think you're gonna police language like that. Like, don't live in a fucking tent. Like, if you want to take away freedom of speech, go live in a tent, because your house was built by racist, sexist, homophobic, disgusting, rough talking blokes. That's what I'm getting at.
Well, I don't know if that's sort of part of as part of the Albanese government's cleanup of the CFMEU. They want to crack down on all this rough talk, but it's funny though. The new vanguard of the CFMEU are those green soy boys like Max Chandler Mader up in Griffith in Brisbane, and that disgusting communist purple pingers Jordan Vanderlam, who's standing for the Victorian Socialists, who has the absolute most disgusting and punchable face you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. What's he running as a senator? He wants to be on.
Run for the federal senate for the Victorian Socialists. He's got a hammer and sickle in his ex profile now, which in my opinion is as obscene as the swastika. Like, if you're going to ban the swastika, you should ban the hammer and sickle. I mean, it killed more people.
Yeah, they should. You've got to be consistent. You know what I mean? Like, it's completely hypocritical. And then they're gonna ban, like, they're gonna ban fucking the Australian flag. I don't know. Like, the goal will change, and they'll say, "Oh, the Eureka Stockade is the next one that has to go."
Yeah, because the CPU flies that, and also racists also fly us as well.
I used to go, so that we went to my first ever Labor Day march, Brisbane City, probably 2020. We rocked up, we filmed it. Heaps of Eureka Stockade flags, not one Australia Day flag. That's not one Australian flag. So it was like a strange thing to see. I was like, where are the Australian flags? There was no Australian flags at all. All Eureka Stockade flags. Anyway, at the end of the rally, the Australian Communist Party was marching in the Brisbane Labor Day march. I confronted them. I said, what is this? You fucking kill 100 million people and you're marching down our street with your hammer and sickle? Like, fuck you. And then the next year, they were gone. There were no communists. I was asking the union guys, I was like, do the commies march every year? They're like, yeah, they've marched every year for like 20 years. And I don't know if it's by chance, but the first time someone rocks up with the camera and gets it finally recorded that this is happening was the last year it happened. You know what I mean? And now the Australian Socialist Alliance marches in that spot. So it's sort of like, did the Australian Socialist Alliance is that the rebrand of what was the Australian Communist Party?
There's so many different factions in the ultra radical left. This reminds me, there was when Melbourne University staff were striking, there was some cross-dressing communist from the Australian Communist Party, Jackie, like it was just a dude in a dress, and one of the National Socialist Network members, Michael Nelson Mickle, actually did a funny video where it went down to Melbourne Uni and said, "Hey, are you the guy that thinks you're a woman? You'll never be a woman."
Can you even say that anymore in Victoria?
Victoria has actually at the moment more free speech than you do up in Queensland. I mean, the Allen government, they could come up with tomorrow some draconian anti-free speech laws, but you can still say in Victoria faggot and tranny without legal consequences. Obviously, you can't say it on the AFL football field, otherwise you'll be fined, suspended, sent to re-education camp. But in terms of being dragged before some human rights commission,
so in Queensland, I can call someone a faggot or a tranny or a
that you can go to the Human Rights Commission for that.
Really? Calling someone a fag? That's incredible. I'm sure fags call each other fags all day. I bet you it's like they're in the gay bar and they're sledging each other.
It's one of those things like the N-word. It's okay if like they say it to each other, but not if you say it.
Fucking hell. Don't ever go to a concreting job site because you'd be like shutting it fucking down because of the foul language.
I remember
Human Rights Commission.
Gabriel Mare, who was the host at one point of the Australia First live stream, he crashed some Oxford Street, Pride Square at Oxford Street, and some mask Antifa said to him, your haircut looks terrible, and he said, take a look at yourself, faggot.
Where is Gabriel? Is he like in America still, or is he like keeps going over there or something?
I'm not aware that Gabriel Murray was overseas.
I don't know where he went.
He's still around. But yeah, it was funny. Gabriel Murray, who was the host of Australia First for a while, and then the guy that I previously mentioned, Michael Nelson Mickle, who's a member of National Socialist Network, because Gabriel Murray is a dark-skinned Italian, created in the same time slot, White Australia First.
Yeah. It's
There's so
funny, Gabriel, he's always like, I'm white. He always mentions how he's white.
well,
I'm just
you know
like,
how
"Whatever, bro."
we got proof that he was white? That well, it was actually through a tragic event, the Bondi stabbing. Because remember, Joel Couchy was his name. He was I had a tan, and so people assumed that it might have been Middle Eastern Islamic, but he was Maltese, and so
Yeah, yeah.
he was classified for the propaganda purposes as a white male, and so I concluded on my show, well, this proves once and for all if Joel Couchy is classified as white, even though he's a dark-skinned Maltese, then Gabriel Murray is white.
Mm-hmm. I had like a guy. So allegedly, someone told me, a mate who goes to the church with the family of the parents of the guy who did the stabbing in Sydney, right?
Mm.
They said, so people from the church said that the parents had said that the son had actually been involved in Islam and got radicalized. That was like the inside story.
I didn't say
Like,
that
say the
in
local, let's say
media.
the local, yeah, like, and everyone, because everyone was like, this is Islam, this is Muslim. And then it was
The
like,
media, they
everyone
didn't say
kind of
that.
brushed that off completely because he wasn't Muslim he was raised, I think, Christian, and he had mental health problems and
It's a Catholic
schizophrenia and
nation
stuff.
culture.
He was a what? Sorry.
He was Maltese. Malta uh,
His
is a
his
Catholic
culture
nation.
or his family were Christian, but it's alleged that, like, I guess let's call it, what do you call it? Word on the street that he had been radicalized and that, he had kind of Islamic ideas. And it was and that the family were like, what are you on about, mate? And they were concerned. And then the last few times he came back to Brisbane, they were concerned that he had Islamic ideas. So this is I think, like, so I was told this is what, from people who go to church with the family, said. But they said the family didn't want to. I think they said the family were quite open about it and even mentioned it to the media, but it was kind of hushed up. But
Oh,
this
that
is
was
sort of like,
broadcast.
I never tracked it down. I never followed the story because I just thought it was a little bit, obviously it was a bit hectic. Like, yeah. That's the, how do I say it without, so I didn't chase it up fully to 100% verify it. Let's say that, but it was mentioned to me and mentioned that I should say something. So I'm saying something, but I never verified it.
Yeah. Like I said, they didn't say that to the mainstream media on camera, but we know that the mainstream media are lies.
The police seem
daily,
to,
hourly.
from what I kind of like gather, this is my theory from doing, going to protest for 5-6 years, whatever, you might limited interaction with the police and I guess media or whatever. And the government. I reckon the go-to thing that our government does is they try to de-escalate everything. So they'll like remove parts of the story that might escalate.
But they
in the
still
community.
wanted this to, like, Joel Couchy's stabbing spree to fit their domestic violence agenda because he mainly targeted women, and the father said that he wasn't surprised that he targeted women because he wanted a girlfriend and had no social skills, because there was shortly after that, one of the National Cabinet Domestic Violence Summit. Remember, there was the whole rally afterwards. What was it called? Remember, it was by that fat bird who had her boobs hanging out, who elbow spoke out in Canberra.
Yeah. And was that the chick who was like, fucking no, Elbow, we don't want you to speak? Is it that one?
Yeah, who accused Elbow of
How dare you speak? This is about women, not you, Elbow.
Yeah, she had the
I kind of think Elbow's gay. I think Elbow is a closet homosexual. That's if you think what is the most juicy conspiracy theory that Dusty has, it's that his wife isn't real.
Oh well, fiance.
He's never given her the pork. I don't think he's ever given her the pork sausage. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a real marriage. He's like a flying.
Jodie Hayden as the renter girlfriend. He was married to they were the power couple for many years. His ex-wife Carmel Tebbit. She was the deputy premier of New South Wales under Christina Keneally. He was the federal infrastructure.
I don't know shit. Like all my theories are going off the gut.
And then there's the other conspiracy theory is that the reason why Carmel Tebbit left him is because he was cheating on her at the Thai massage parlor. Because you see, it's always shared on the X and other social media. Anthony Albanese outside his local Thai massage parlor, and they're always mentioning it in Pauline Hanson's Please Explain cartoon that
he's a homo. He's closet.
Well, no, that he likes Thai massages.
And not like he likes getting a hand job.
Well, that's the implication. Like there was the national insecurity. Pauline Hanson's Please Explain, and Anthony Albanese's at the national security meeting said this better be important. I was just at the best part of my Thai massage.
There you fucking go. Right, I think we're going to wrap it up. We're hitting an hour, and I've been going out almost every second night this week.
Yeah,
I'm engaged in political dinners and all these things like that. So it's like, the Dusty Bogan. I'm trying to, I guess, help or be involved in a fair few community. And the Libertarian branch, I'm part of the Ipswich Libertarian branch. So there's a few things that I got on my plate. And, I said to my missus, I was like, I'll wrap it up by 9 o'clock and we'll have, a bit of quality time. But thanks for coming on, Tim Wilms. We never prepare for our show. We always start like 5 minutes late and we do it off the cuff. But you're an absolute gentleman, and I appreciate your knowledge and your wisdom and your willingness to have a delicious drink.
To come on someone else's stream because they can do all the technical stuff and they lead the conversation. And Thirsty Thursday, I can just get completely wasted on just 2 drinks, and I don't need to worry about it.
I had 2 drinks. 2 drinks is good for me. If I can do 2 drinks in an hour and the brilliant people who enjoy this show have a great fun time, this show's surely got to be better than whatever you're going to find on the Turning on the Idiot box. Anyway,
7-9 News, whatever that.
Absolutely terrific. Anyway, I hope you have a fucking awesome week, Tim Wilms. Make sure everyone, if anyone is in Brisbane, I should actually, if anyone is in Brisbane, come to our arm wrestling event. We've got an arm wrestling event this Sunday in Ascot Park, Brisbane, not far from Brisbane City. We're having a barbecue and a bit of a...
I went past
This is me arm wrestling Dunder Viking. He's going to be there.
Go.
Rig.
Nailed me.
You got the British Australian Community Conference, and then you got CPAC Australia. It's going to be busy here in Melbourne as well. We've got the free speech rally at Flagstaff Gardens on October 5. Then the week after that is the annual march for the babies. So I'm wondering, they always turn up Antifa to protest for abortion, but I wonder if they'll turn up to the free speech rally to protest for censorship. I wouldn't put it past them. They protested freedom rallies claiming they were pro-health.
That's just crazy.
Yeah,
it seems like the right
fat cunts who protested for pro-health. Maybe
obese Marxists were pro-health, which they mean like they want the government to
well, they think that
from a
wearing
shitty
a
lifestyle
is pro-health. If you're worried about dropping dead from COVID, maybe lose about 30 kilos.
I definitely man, on the right in Brisbane, it's just event after event after event. Like, you could fill your calendar and have a full social life going to right-wing, conservative, libertarian, nationalistic events. It's just one after the other. All the groups are very, positive, happy to work together, have a great time. You get some, good debates happening, discussions, some challenging conversations, but it's awesome. I'm telling you, I don't think it's ever been so good in Queensland. And you can see here, this over-the-top arm wrestling, we got British Australian Community, Uhuru Mates, Young Nation, Lockie, Dunder Viking from the Libertarians. We've brought together a heap of different groups to do some arm wrestling. The winner's going to get a 12-month subscription to Censored TV and a copy of Anglophobia, which is Harry, the CEO of British Australian Community, wrote this book.
Yeah, they're
so
pretty.
We've got a signed copy of that book and a 12-month subscription to Censored TV going. For
what else could you ask for as a grand prize?
What else could you ask for? You're gonna get your life could be changed from reading that book and a 12-month censored subscription. You could be fully energized. The events that this is an event I'm running this event. I put this event on. I've organized it. If I put on an event, it's to energize our people. It's so you come along, you have a fucking great time, and you go, you start believing. You know what I mean? Believing in yourself, and that the future can be bright in Australia. Anyway, I'll let you go. God bless you, Tim Wilms. Come on again. I'm sure maybe next Thursday, we'll see you next week.
I'll see you then, Dusty.
Legend.
Thank you for watching.